Hey guys, just want to make a quick video here on show you how to do a battery reset on a Porsche 991 using the Autel Maxicom MK808. Give a shout out to Rich. He's a friend of mine. Let me borrow in his tool. My Autel MD808 wouldn't do this job. Even though it has a battery function, it didn't work for my Porsche. So let's dig into this. With this tool, you press service, and then you want to choose that BMS function right here, okay? So BMS, and then we need to choose Porsche, and then it's going to ask for VIN number. So we'll tell it that we want to automatically let it look for it and to read that number. Okay, and it did. That's my number. So then we go yes, and it confirms this is a 2012 991. I'll say yes. Now here's where we really need to get into, right? I mean, it's a hot function within the BMS selection. And then my choices is battery. And let's see here. Okay, and then it gives us some instructions. If you've got one of these tools in front of you, you can read that. But what's really important is right here. Notice it says serial number needs to be 15 characters, and then Porsche part number is 11 characters, or it says 11 places. So it can be a character, like a number or a letter, or it can be a space. A space counts, okay? So that's important to remember. That if you've got a Porsche battery, then you're good to go, and you'll probably have this information in the right format. But if you did like I did, and you went and got a smoking deal on a great AGM battery at Costco for 185 bucks, and you didn't pay the high dealer price for a Porsche battery, then you're going to need to have a little bit different number system here, okay? But the device is requiring that the format of 15 places and then 11 places. It's important. Okay, so in battery capacity, that's where so here's a printout of what my battery is, okay? My Exide or my interstate battery or whatever it is. I've got a amp hours of 95 amp hours. See that? Fourth column up from the bottom. That's what they want to know right here. How many amp hours is your battery? So I'm going to type in that area. I'm going to select the number deal, and I'll type in 95 for 95 amp hours. Okay, and then notice it says wet. If you've got a regular lead acid battery, it's called a flooded battery or wet battery. That's your choice, and it looks like that's default. In my case, I got an AGM battery, which is a better battery to have, so I'm going to select AGM. Okay, now here, notice there's instructions for you in the top right-hand corner of your display, and it's one step behind us. This is an important thing to notice because I've selected in scanner code already, but it's still giving me the instructions for selecting the battery. Okay, I've already done that. So what that means is, keep that heads up. If you actually skip, if you skip scanner code, like if you hit it, and then you don't do it correctly or whatever, and then you press on battery part number, it'll come up with an instruction that's one step behind you. Here, let me show you. So I have selected in there, and now in this case, I'm selected in there, ready to type, but it's not telling me the instructions for that step. So watch this. If I go down to the bottom, and then I select this again, now it's telling me you need to have 11 characters for this battery part number, okay? And that's true. So let's keep that in mind. So battery part number, let me give you an example. So this handwriting here, see where it says part number on my sheet? And that 7P0 space 915 space 105F. That's an example of a true 9-character, 2 spaces part number, right? So it's actually 9 characters and 2 spaces. That's the total total of 11 spaces. That's what you need for part number. In my case, I have a number that's not a Porsche number. It's not 9 spaces. or not 9 numbers, so I'm going to enter spaces to create the 9 total, blank spaces for the 9 total characters or spaces. Okay, so I'll show you that. Okay, so here you see my part number for my Costco battery truly is this 135 585 3. But notice that I could put a 135 space 5 space 8 space 5 space 3. That's so that I could make that be 11 total spaces or 11 characters with the blank spaces counting as a character, okay? That's how I was able to do that, and the system will like that. I'll show you that in a moment. Notice to the right it says check conditions. When I select scanner code, it'll update that field to being okay. And then we'll show you that I'll use the same strategy for scanner code. Okay, so you see I've entered in scanner code. Now, on my interstate battery from Costco, there was a scan bar on the top of the battery, like all the little lines in an area, a scan bar for like to check the price or whatever. And underneath that scan bar was a series of numbers. That's what I used as the scan code. And if you look up what a real Porsche scan number is, it's a similar idea, except for they use one of those square numbers. Um, so anyway, that's what that is. Oh, my car's going to turn off here in a minute. But because I didn't have 15 space number, a 15 character number, I added in spaces to this deal. So I put a 6 space, then the other numbers, right? Then a 9 space 3, and then a 4 space 6. That gave me 15 characters by using the spaces. And then and notice now I touched the main screen just to kind of get back out of that field, and I can see it all, and it says they're all okay. So I can go ahead and execute, and it says you're good. So, and I can continue, and it's reset that. So that's how you do it. Just got to remember that that the part number is 11 characters, and the scanner code is 15 characters, and spaces count as a character. If you keep that in mind, you won't have any problems. Hope this video helps.